Hello and warm welcome to Agric today on ARCN Television, Abuja, Nigeria. I am Khadija Oluwatoyin Amin. Agric today is a program where we bring to you innovations, technologies, policies and happenings in the world of agriculture. This week we shall examine on federal government move to integrate agricultural insurance program to enhance sustainability and food security. Please stay tuned. In a bid to curtail harvest losses due to climate change, the federal government has expedited action to incorporate the agricultural insurance scheme into the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket Program, Nags AP, to enhance sustainability and food security. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abdullahi Sabe, reviewed this during the Agricultural Insurance Train-the-Trainer workshop held at Debbie's Upper Class Event and Recreation Center, Orozo in Abuja. He pointed out that the purpose of integrating the agricultural insurance scheme into the program was to protect the investment and interventions being made by the government and the financing partner, the African Development Bank, AFDB, via this program in addressing the sustainability and security of local food systems. Dr. Abdullahi noted that these risks have now become central issues affecting the government, financiers, and beneficiary farmers who stand to lose the most from seasons of bad harvest, adding that such adverse conditions could wipe out investments and the labor invested in the program, leading to significant food price inflation as we are witnessing today. The minister pointed out one of the unfortunate incidences of the 2023 wet farming season, in which ginger farmers in Kaduna State suffered immensely from the outbreak of the ginger blight disease, losing over 90% of the total harvest for the season. This is stated that only a few of those ginger farmers who took the insurance protection received monetary compensation for their harvest losses, noting that these sets of farmers could boast of returning to their farms with little or no financial assistance, unlike their uninsured counterparts who had to dip into their mega savings to be able to continue farming. He therefore pointed out that the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President is poised to arrest the situation through deployment of climate-smart agriculture for establishment of a resilient food security system, because climate-smart agriculture remains the only means of adapting to climate change. Let's listen to him.
Let me say this is a very important milestone. The subject has lingered for some time. But what is important is when you bring stakeholders together, you are able to achieve more. And I think today we also signpost that conviction. The MD of the Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation, NIC, our own premier public institution insurance agency, say that today marks exactly 1 year that we are sworn in as ministers for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. 21st. And I'm happy standing on this podium on duty to speak about a neglected aspect of our agricultural ecosystem, which is the issue of managing the risk our Nigerian farmers face. And I want to say also that it speaks volume to the vision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and his Vice President, Distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, that the Renewed Hope agenda, which talked about a very important element, the food security, is not going to be treated with kid glove. Is born out of the desire and commitment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like he has always told us, that he desires and saw in his heart. He wants a Nigeria where no man goes to bed hungry. And I think it speaks volume to his compassion and his human feelings. Because a leader who sees in his heart every day the pain of those he is leading and desires that we should work to reverse the ugly trend such that no Nigerian goes to bed hungry, I think is a leader that deserves all our support. Please, a round of applause for him. So I want to assure you that exactly 1 year ago we came on board with my brother, distinguished Senator Advert, and we've been working round the clock along with all of you in this event, working to see that we reverse the trend and stabilize our national food security system. One of the important elements is that not many people actually take note of what farmers go through. And the MD Nags, I think I should be sending my bill to you for using my what if principle. Like it is being said all the time, when you take a decision, you must ask that question, what if something happens? What if something goes wrong? And I think for a very long time, we've not been helping farmers to ask this very important question. And there are so many things that goes wrong with farmers. And at the end of the day, they are left to suffer. Let me remind us, in 2021, we had a very serious, devastating flood that washed so many farms, especially in the northwest and part of the northeast. In fact, all over the country. But I think the most devastating was in the south, the northwest. Kebbi, Jigawa, some part of, Katsina and the like. Now, and I also remember Kogi, where you could remember the road to Lokoja remained closed for upward of almost more than a month, which meant at that time all the farmlands that are by the shores of the River Niger, River Benue confluence were all submerged. 3, 4, 5 months effort of farmers swept off like that. So I want to submit that because the Renewed Hope agenda is about renewing the hope of Nigerians. That explains why we are considering this element that has been neglected a very important thing that should be taken care of. And I want to thank all the people who made it possible. The Nags AP is being funded by the African Development Bank, and we want to appreciate our own president of the bank, Dr. Akinwumi Additional, for his vision as always in seeing that this is a neglected aspect of agriculture that should be taken care of. Now, let me say, because it's been a neglected issue, there's a lot of work to be done. So we're just beginning. This sensitization is just one out of many that will come on board. And I will urge that participants should come with a lot of the experience they've seen in the field and provide context and content that will help us to articulate initiatives and programs that will help us to tame all of these things.
In a goodwill message, the Managing Director, Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation, NAIC, Mrs. Folashade Joseph, pledged the readiness of NAIC to partner with stakeholders in agricultural and other sectors of the economy by providing sound insurance and other risk management expertise with a view to reducing risk bedeviling these ventures and improving national agricultural output towards attaining the food security.
I'm glad to be here today on the occasion of the Train the Trainers workshop on the application of insurance, National Agricultural Group Scheme and Agro Pocket, Nags AP. This occasion is special for so many reasons. First of all, the workshop is a culmination of tireless engagements between NAIC and PULA under the guidance of Honorable Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Dr. Ali Sabi Abdullahi. Another reason is the timeliness of the workshop. This vis the outgoing dry season and incoming wet season farming, and the need to underline the importance of insurance on agricultural endeavors across these seasons to our farmers and other stakeholders across the agricultural value chain. This morning, as I watched Good Morning Nigeria, they were talking about so many mishaps of building collapse. And I was very delighted when one of the participants talked about insurance. This gives me the impression that Nigeria is going the correct way. That is the way to go. Insurance should not be seen any longer as just a necessity because you want to get a loan from the federal government. Insurance is very critical. Actually, what it does is that it safeguards our investments. And if I may, taking permission from my Honorable Minister of State, I would like to borrow his words. He said insurance, in summary, is what if. So what if there is no rain at all? What if there is too much rain? And what if the pests and insects destroy the farmland? And that is why we must take insurance, so that we can sustain all our agribusinesses from production across the value chain. Thank you very much. I would like to equally mention that to the caliber of these invitees to this auspicious occasion, which include top policymakers, aggregators, processors, captains of financial and other institutions, farmers and other players across the agri-value chain. That it gladdens my heart that Naik is playing an active role alongside other stakeholders in making this history today. It is on this note that I want to thank the Honorable Minister of State again for the fatherly role he played in ensuring that this occasion comes to fruition. I wish to place on record the readiness of Naik, as always, to partner with stakeholders in the Agric and other sectors of the economy by providing sound insurance and other risk management expertise, with a view to reducing risk bedeviling these ventures on one hand and improving national agricultural outputs as well as the attainment of food security on the other hand. We really make sure that the agenda of the President on food security is achieved. Naik will work tirelessly and effectively and efficiently with other partners in the insurance industry and other stakeholders to ensure the sustainability of this huge project. Consequently, I want to use this opportunity to encourage the stakeholders across the agri sector to adopt Naik insurance products with their investments to forestall the risk of exposure to natural perils occasioned by the vagaries of weather conditions and climate change phenomenon. This, the potential impact of which remains prominent in our nation.
National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket is one of the platform put up by the government to deliver agricultural input to the farmers, so that where we are meeting them, we want to move them along the ladder of growth. That is why the growth issue is there. We are meeting them at a position and we want to move them to a certain position, so that one, the farmers will grow, their economy will grow, and by extension, the food security gap we are trying to bridge will also be attained. The Nags AP project is designed and to focus on 5 major crops: wheat, rice, maize, sorghum, millet, soybean, and cassava. So, when we are designing the SOP, that is standard operating procedure and operational modalities, we made it flexible to ensure that for you to support the farmer, anything you see that is good, that is missing, it can be added. So today we have looked at the operational strategy of the scheme and deduced that there is a missing gap, and that is agricultural insurance component. Today we have faced with many vagaries of nature, both human-made and natural occurrences. It is good we look at them. Which one can we address based on the current stage we are, technologically and what have you? So we are looking at the different factors militating against farmers attaining their goals. That is the set objective where they are into the farming business. And we have looked at it that the insurance component to address the changes the farmers and factors the farmers are facing through in their production. That is issue related to flood. That is issue related to drought. Issue related to pests. Issue related to diseases. And what have you. Need to incorporate it into the SOP so that along the line the farmer will be more comfortable and he can be able to assure that yes, he is already covered in his production activities. So the essence of this workshop is to look at the SOP of the Nags and then incorporate the insurance. But we cannot just go ahead like that to do it without asking the views of our farmers and other important stakeholders along the chain. The major players in the chain are at production level, that is the input suppliers, input distributors, and the input user farmers. So that is why we are asked and invited to you here, so that we'll be able to listen to your views and put in a strategy that will work. So, and we cannot do that without asking the blessing of our hierarchy. The Honorable Minister is therefore here to give blessing to what we are going to do. So we'll say thank you to the Honorable Minister. Within a short notice, he was informed, and because he believes in changes and he believes in results. So without hesitation, he has to drop all what he has been doing so that he will come and give blessing to this workshop. So this workshop has an important component in the SOP. So thank you, Honorable Minister, for honoring our invitation.
Climate insurance package for the continent, focusing on 40 million smallholder farmers to provide them cover from the realities of, as the MPC had said, the vagaries that occur in the process of farm activities. So from the devastations of floods to the devastation caused by droughts, even that of pests and then of diseases, occasioned or engendered and really given steam by the situation we have where climate change has become such a very present, phenomenon in the lives of humanity's life in recent times. So, from the bank end, we are very happy that this program, which is part of the African Emergency Food Production Facility that the bank is providing, a total of $1.5 billion to African countries to quickly ramp up their food productivity realities. Nigeria getting the biggest chunk of it, $134 million, and we working to syndicate more support, $95 million coming from the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, all focused on helping our smallholder farmers receive, the support that they need to produce food in a hurry across 6 commodity value chains. So the cover that we're getting from the relationship between Pula Advisors and NAIC, midwifed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, is only a microcosm of the bigger, insurance package that the bank has put down for African farmers across board, but which this will enable us, have access to. So, Honorable Minister Sir, and members of the High Table, the African Development Bank stands behind your endeavor, and we commit that as you set this ball rolling, the bank will be there to support you and to revitalize, the funding component that you require to make this even more impactful on our farmers.
It's our own. Farmers program. The Minister of State, the CEO of Nags, the Fuller, the Director of the main program, Advert. I will seize the opportunity to thank all of you to be here because this program is really our own and we need to own this program. It's not today we started talking about insurance, farmers insurance and whatever, but today it's reality and we thank God for that. I just go through this very program as I came here, I said, hey, this is the only program that can help the farmers because a lot is happening on the farm. Talk about insecurity, talk about what is happening. So what is now is we need to talk about insurance and making it known by all our farmers in all the nook and corner of all the local government, the world. Why are we talking about this today? It's because we are progressing and we have the right people in the seat of the power. The Minister of State and our main minister, they are doing very well because where they are pointing out is where we need them to do that. But there's something I want to ask everybody here to just, I see the risk not covered. So the risk that is covered. I just look at it, and there's only one point I want to make here. Is issue of animal encroachment. So I want us to look into it also, to add it to this implementation, which we are doing. I believe with this we are going forward, and I thank God for what is happening today in the history of insurance.
Process, an engaging process to get to this very point. And part of what we observe is the frequency and severity of weather incidents and how that affects agric investment and production. And we're talking about sustainability, we're talking about climate resilience, we're talking about expanding and addressing the federal government food security challenges. There's never been the right time for stakeholders to come together as one and push the agenda for mainstreaming agricultural insurance in government-related intervention programs. So I'm happy that PULA, with its continental experience and expertise, is partnering with local stakeholders and government to ensure that we can bring resilience to the agricultural last mile, being the smallholder farmers. That happens to be the signature intervention program for the federal government as it is now, and we're happy that they have considered us as a worthy partner to work with the different stakeholders, most especially Nags, to see how we can expand the penetration of agric insurance nationally. So we are happy to be here. I'm also here with my colleague, Dr. Samson Jibola, that will be going through the process of explaining the nitty-gritties of the agricultural insurance product that we feel would be suitable for the Nags Agro Pocket program. It's one of the very first of many products that we hope to bring to the fore. In due course, we'll be looking at other products like Takafu variants and so on and so forth. I remember when we had the discussion with the Honorable Minister of State, he said we shouldn't rest on our oars, we should expand, and we should be able to give value for money to the farmer. So we'll be going through those nitty-gritties. So I won't like to let all the cats out of the bag. But I want to thank the government of Nigeria, I want to thank the Ministry of Agric, I want to thank the National Program Coordinator of Nags, the AFDB, the Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation for all their support in working with PULA to make this initiative, or bringing this initiative to the light.
In attendance at the workshop were stakeholders from the All Farmers Association, NAIC, PULA Advisors, USAID, Rex Insurance, NIDA, amongst others. And yes, that's where we wrap it up for this week on Agric today. I hope you have learned one or two lessons on the importance of insurance in the sector. Please do join us again at the same time, same station for another educating episode. I remain your host, Khadija Oluwatoyin Amin saying bye for now.